So if you've been following me for the last, I don't know, month or 2 months, you'll know that I really thought the garden it's not going to make it this year. We got so much rain and it was so cold all spring that I thought we were going to lose all our tomatoes, or at least most of our tomatoes, most of the garden. The whole area was constantly flooded here. Now this is on a downhill slope, so it does have drainage, but it was just always flooded. A lot of people told me I needed a raised garden bed, or I needed to build something like a greenhouse and just buckets and just everything to spend money. But we accepted the fact that we were going to have losses this year. Turns out that's not true. This tomato plant and all the ones this is the biggest one, but all of them have recovered, completely recovered. It's only been warm and dry for a few days, not even a week. This thing has shot up past this stick. It was down probably a year before. It has a flower on it already. It's incredible. I was concerned that Carolyn had worked so hard on this garden and it wasn't going to work, but in the end, it really didn't make much difference. We were going to use the tomatoes for tomato sauce and spaghetti sauce, but it really didn't matter. And I wasn't going to spend a lot of money on a garden to get a 10-cent, 20-cent tomato. It just didn't make sense to invest a bunch of money in it when we've already done a considerable amount of work clearing all that out and getting everything ready for the garden this year. So I'm glad it worked out. The other thing I wanted to tell you, kind of a house cleaning item, was I told you the belt broke on my lawnmower here. Well, I was able to get that replaced. John Deere sent it right out. As a matter of fact, I ordered it and I ordered the wrong belt, and for some reason the guy knew I ordered the wrong belt somehow or another, and he called me the very next day. I ordered it on a Sunday off the webpage. Said, "Are you sure you want this? According to your order, you're looking for an S100, which is what this lawnmower is." I said, "Yes, I have an S100. If I've messed something up, by all means fix it." So a lot of people told me to buy it off Amazon. The manual I have does not have a parts list, which is really strange because I used to have an old Murray that I bought from Walmart and it had a parts list, but this one didn't. You got to go to John Deere's website and they have a parts list there. Of course, you can mess it up. So I'm kind of glad I did it this way. I would have hated to have spent $15, $16 to save some money on Amazon, end up having to spend it again because I messed up the order. The other thing is this is the first John Deere I've ever had. This is the cheapest model, don't get me wrong. And so a lot of people said use aftermarket products. I don't know. It's a John Deere. I think I'm gonna stick with the John Deere product. I know it's more expensive, and usually I'm the kind of guy that will do anything to save a penny. But for some reason, I think that I should use John Deere parts. So I don't know why. It's just the way I was going to do it. So today I watched a video, and this will have been the second rant video I've done. I'm going to go down in the shade here into the woods because my selfie stick, it's a self-balancing thing. It keeps everything balanced. Overheat in the sun. So I watched a video today. It's a prepping video. Here's the thing that I've said about preppers numerous times, is they never test their prepping abilities. I used to watch this show, and I can't remember the name of it, but they would go to someone's house who said, "I'm an expert prepper," and then they would show on TV their preps, and they would go and demonstrate how good they were at their abilities. And a lot of times they really just did not do well. I remember this one family, their idea was he had a boat and they were going to go bug out. That's the big key word in the prepping community. Bug out bag, gotta bug out. Well, I don't get into all that. I mean, it's just, I'm not a prepper. I live here off grid, and I think I'm pretty well prepared for just about anything that could happen. But preppers are always looking for that worst condition, but they don't test themselves ever, and it was quite amazing. Now, this particular prepper has criticized other preppers, people I know, people I've talked to on YouTube. So he thinks other preppers are not as smart as him. So I feel like I'm justified in being able to criticize his video because it was just terrible. It was terrible information. Of course, then he argues that everybody's situation is different. No, if we're in what they call an SHTF, situation, which is what he always talks about, then no, it's terrible information. It's just terrible. So apparently he has this friend who emailed him and told him that I've got enough solar panels to run my central air conditioner on top of his roof. I don't want to argue too much about that point, but I will argue just for a minute. I think it would be highly unlikely that you have enough roof space to run a central air conditioner. That would be very difficult. But ignoring that, the emailer was concerned the police would show up when SHTF happens, telling him that they've got a, what do they call it? What do you call it? A goody two shoes grandma who has oxygen, and we see that you have electric, so you need to take her in. Well, then the emailer asked, am I supposed to feed the grandma now? Am I supposed to take care of her? So the prepper says you have to learn to hide your stuff. So he says you got to hide your air conditioner, and he explains how to build a box around the air conditioner. And I'm thinking, hey, that's a good design, don't get me wrong, but why are you hiding the air conditioner? Why are you running the air conditioner? Wouldn't it be more important to hide the solar panels? I mean, think about it. If you have solar panels, the police are gonna know that you have electric. It doesn't matter if your air conditioner is making noise. Not to mention, I don't think you can actually run it. So I commented. So I said I have 1,000 watts of solar panels. Now my solar panels are way down here on the backside of the property. Can't really see them from the road. I got them on the ground so they're not very visible. But I'm not doing it as a prepper, I'm doing it to keep it cool. I've noticed that if I take them and pick them off the ground, they get hotter in the summer than when I have them laying kind of like this. For some reason it stays cooler, and you got to have cooler solar panels to get maximum voltage. But they're down here, they're hidden, but look at this monstrosity. That does not run an air conditioner for very long. It ran a 5,000 BTU air conditioner the first summer we were here in the camper. Not a very big space, it's insulated, and they struggled to run this. I could run it during the heat of the day, 1, 2, 3 o'clock, but after that, or before that, I couldn't. So I don't see it very likely that he's going to be able to run his air conditioner with his solar panels on top of the roof. It just doesn't, but that's beside the point. So I said, seems to me that instead of trying to run your air conditioner, you would want to try to run something quiet and something that you absolutely have to have. You don't have to have an air conditioner. I don't have one now, and I've said this in previous videos. You can live without an air conditioner. It can be done. I said, why not hook your solar panels up to the well pump? Because, I mean, we can run the well pump actually on a nice sunny day like this. We'd have no issues running the well pump. As a matter of fact, I think if we got rid of the refrigerator, we have enough to run the well pump for all our water needs. Then I said, I can't run the air conditioner. You know, I said all that. Well, then several people replied to my post under his video saying, yeah, you seem like you really know what you're doing. You've got this understood. And of course I do. I mean, I live this lifestyle. It's not that I'm theorizing. Well, then this one guy says, you need to start using some common sense. He says, don't you think that people are going to want to come to get your water now? So I replied back, well, the well pump is absolutely quiet. How are they going to hear it? Because that's what the whole conversation was. So I said, we need to stick to the topic. He says, well, they're going to see you out there drinking all that water. You know, all your neighbors come running around to get your water. And I said, well, how is that possible? I don't understand what you're telling me. If my water is hooked up to my tank, they're never even going to know I got water. I can drink the water inside my house and nobody would even know. And I said, this isn't common sense. This is me actually doing it. And I said, this is the problem with preppers, is they go around with their theories telling everybody how smart they are, but they've never tested it. I think they're setting people up for disaster. Spend your money building a fence around the air conditioner when you're not even going to be able to run it. But don't worry about water. Somehow water is going to magically appear out of your well. I don't understand the thought process and the thumping of the chest that they're so smart. but they've never tested it. And I've said this before. If you want to test your preps, shut it off for 30 days. Shut your electric off, shut everything off. Your gas, leave enough electric to run your refrigerator or your freezer. Of course, you don't want your food to spoil. And see what you can do without. How well can you do? And as soon as you say, oh man, this is too hot, I need the air conditioner, you kick the air conditioner back on, you know you can't make it. And that you got to do something to adjust it. But I never hear of anybody doing this. I feel like the off-grid channels who are not prepping, I haven't seen too many off-grid channels saying I'm a prepper. They just live happy. So my suggestion, I've said this a lot, that you pay attention to what the preppers are doing. They're fear mongering. And it's always, every video I see, it's about fear. I try very hard to always end the video with, I hope I can inspire you to be happy and live your dreams. Living this lifestyle not only gives me the comfort that if there's a power outage, I won't even notice there's a power outage. Or if there's a water outage, I won't even know there's a water outage. Or if we all of a sudden run out of gasoline and I can't run my generator or my vehicles. That's the things that I worry about. Can I survive without a generator? It would be a little bit more complicated, but like I said, if I could shut off the refrigerator. So what did we do? We tested ourselves. We started canning food, and now we have probably just about a year's worth of canned food. So if you would you click that super thanks button down there? I'd really appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire you to not live in fear, so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.